Uthak moves a hand to the pommel of his sheathed blade. Several spiders flinch back, but the huge female stands her ground, glowering down at the insolent orc commander. For a long moment, there is complete silence. Finally, she chitters quietly at one of the nearby spiders. The minion moves quickly into the lair to drag Bilbo's cocoon towards the gateway. As the spider drags the last cocoon before Uthak, a small, skinny creature flies out of the shadows, screeching, "Precious!" like a dying animal. It wraps his arms around Uthak's thick neck and bites his right ear. Black gore spills, and Uthak's furious roar joins the creature's tinny wail. The screams echo through the trees and cobwebs.
As you make your way through the dense forest, a sudden shriek is heard from afar. Praying that hobbits are incapable of so pitiful a sound, you move quickly to investigate its source. The forest soon shows signs of giant spider webs. At first, only a few thick strands are seen between canopy and trunk, but the webbing quickly grows denser. Before long, the sticky ropes are thick enough to block your path. About to hack away at the webbing, you sense a subtle shift in the shadows and glance up. Only a few feet above your head, the myriad glare of malicious eyes observe you. Mandibles drip with ichor. Bloated bodies tremble with anticipation.
A gift I will give you.
Dwalin, at your service.
He stands not alone.
Trouble? I can help with that.
rises!
Enough! We'll not be taking Boris surprise. More!
It's gone from bad to worse. You ventured into Mirkwood to free a captured hobbit, but now 2 of your party have themselves been captured. Unwholesome strands break apart with a snap as you cut and saw your way deeper into the lair. Mercifully, the web's denizens are either absent or preoccupied, for you catch only brief glances of hairy bodies moving through this world of pale webbing and grey-green murk. After slow and tiring progress, you come upon the nexus of the lair. An eldritch clearing devoid of webs, except for the huge sinister shape of a dead tree. Cocoons of many sizes hang from the branches like depraved fruit. A few of the cocoons are of the approximate size to your lost friends. One even moves fitfully. You move to open the cocoons, but the lair's inhabitants have finally noticed the intrusion into their midst. Clacking spiders soon surround you, strangely in league with several orcs.
noticed.
Leg it! Double quick!
Mine is the choice of Luthien.
By map and key!
Not alone.
Bruised and bloodied, the creature whimpered at the cruelness of the world. It would have been killed had the orcs not been distracted by the intruders in the lady's pantry. It had escaped into the tangled undergrowth and shrouded itself in shadows from where it had seen Ulfthak and his caravan depart. All that remained was the faint creaking of the wagons fading into the gloom. The lady remained before the gateway. When the clangor of battle from within the lair diminished, she began to shift her monstrous bulk. A strange and battle-worn band soon emerged from the webs, faces paling in despair at the sight of the bloated monster. The Lady of Bogwood, brood mother of the western forest, descendant of the great Ungoliant herself, lost her composure and hissed with rage. These strangers had defiled her sanctum, her lair. Punishment was due.
What's going on? Alright guys, just in case you don't know, this is the campaign of the game. Same abilities, location. Oh, I can use that.
Before your stroke fell.
This game's pretty fun. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you should probably like this game. Oh, you get to choose. Oh. I could easily kill the spider off. So it goes to heroes only though, okay. Well, let's just finish off the spider.
The forest floor is awash with the marks of iron-shod feet and wagon tracks. You begin slowly to make sense of the situation. The spiders are gathering slaves for a host of orcs, intended for some devilry yet to be understood. Deep in thought, you hike a sensible distance from the spider's lair to camp for the night, unsure of what to do next. As the shadows coalesce into night, you hear someone, something, creeping through the undergrowth beyond the firelight. After silent glances, a few nods, and a quick dash, the creep is quickly caught. Shrieking like a stuck pig, it bites and flails about with surprising strength. Its energy soon spent, the creature curls itself into a sobbing ball. You catch a few words amongst its rambling litany of self-pity, such as precious and... a name? Could it be? How that name would be known to the wretch you cannot guess, for the creature is muttering...
After you complete a request the first time, they give you new cards, which gain ambush and +1 to spider units, +1 damage. I'll probably end up adding that to my deck. These are just to get extra of the fellowship points. They pretty much are used to unlock new cards as well. So you can unlock cards before you even get them. These are all the heroes. You got leadership heroes are purple. So I guess you can say like strategic heroes are blue. Red are the damage dealers, and I guess you can say green is like support. So like Aragon's pretty good, and they all have hero boards. If you do certain things, like take 8 actions with Aragon in 1 round, you can get those cards right there. Excuse me. And then they also got different arts you can use to unlock the cards as well with your fellowship. Like I'm using Arwen. She's like a healer pretty much. Dane is definitely good if you're using pure dwarves. He grants +1 extra damage to other dwarf units if he's not been exhausted. So if you use him last and attack with other dwarves, they all get +1, which I'm pretty sure would stack with his. I currently use him. He gets +1 damage, and I like to call it like kind of like wisdom, +1 wisdom. If he's at 6 or more health, so he becomes a 3/2. So with him in the same deck, if it counts, I haven't tested it yet, then he would be a 4/2 combined with a weapon that I like to use for let's see, we'll go to weapons. Oops, wrong one. There we go, weapons. There it is, the Dwarven Axe. +1 or +2 if dwarf. So if you equip that to any dwarf, they automatically get +2. So dwarves are like the heavy hitters of the game, pretty much. That's right, I can't use these ones. Where's that? These are all locked cards. As you can see, I could spend to get them if I want them. Well, that would be pretty good. Ready one character. To every character this round. Grant block to every conduit this round. Gandalf's one of the highest cards in the game. He's a neutral character. He gets fleeting, which means once he's used, he automatically retreats. Once he arrives, you can draw 3 cards, deal 3 damage, or do -3 to Sauron's abilities, which is the meter that's usually on the right. Some of these cards you can get unlocked for free. So guard 205. I like it 3 of her. Like that card's good, but you gotta have like 2 actually, those doors I think probably would be pretty good altogether. Grant +2 to 1 dwarf this round, +3 if wounded, and he gains surge. Wow. Grants +1 energy to each player per Dunan. Huh. Grant guard to one character this round. But that'd be nice to probably unlock. I don't know where that card went. There it is. It's a weapon. Alright. Oops. Alright. Quest with every hero in play. Complete the quest with Smeagol at full. Trigger every available location in the event. Use Strike Fear to defeat 4 orc units. So we'll be facing a lot of orcs in this one, evidently. And then 20 for each player. Alright, and you get Shot from the Sky event card, 2 copies. I'm gonna be using the basic.
After defeating a colony of Mirkwood spiders, you discover that the 8-legged abominations had been gathering slaves for a host of orcs. You believe Bilbo Baggins was taken south alongside other prisoners.
What's going on?
Before deciding on your next course of action, you capture an unpleasant creature lurking about your camp. To your surprise, the creature appears to know the name Baggins. The creature already looks beaten and bruised, so you attempt to use kindness to extract information. However, after being fed both food and gentle words, the nasty thing remains thoroughly unhelpful. Before dawn, a more pressing problem arises. As dull grey seeps into the black edges of night, flying dark shapes begin to swoop under the branches above you. They rapidly multiply, and before long it's as if you've been caught inside a black whirlwind.
Mine is the choice of Luthien.
To all, at your service. I can walk this path, but others have not this skill.
Yes. 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 Persuade the creature to help you find Bilbo. You're claiming to know Bilbo's location. Flying Revenge summons 2. Every character, reduce every character then. It's not ready on the next upkeep. Oh. Alright.
stroke fell. Before your stroke fell.
By map and key!
The dwarves are upon you.
Kindness and forgiveness, masters.
The creature gurgles and prostrates before you.
Masters looking for bargains? Orcs go to Hill of Haunted Stones with slaves. Orcs take bargains too, precious. But Smeagol knows trailing woods. Find orcs and bargains we can. Follow Smeagol to find bargains.
Should you follow the trail of the orc caravan, or will you trust this strange creature, Smeagol?
You would die before your stroke fell.
You have neither time nor inclination to follow the strange Smeagol creature. Rather, by day or dark, you'll chase down the orc caravan to free its captives, especially Bilbo. You gather your packs and set off. Smeagol watches you go. His ghoulish eyes glow dull yellow. After a few moments, he slinks away into the trees, muttering to himself. You wonder whether you'll see the wretch again. You hope not. The caravan is easily tracked, and you make good time. Even so, the day is mostly spent before you hear the faint noise of rolling wheels ahead. Exultant to have reached your quarry, you hasten your steps, hoping to surprise and overwhelm the caravan's rear guard. In the excitement, you forget to consider the keen noses and sharp ears of goblins. As you round a copse of dead trees, you suddenly find yourself facing a group of enemies, alert and weapons ready. So much for surprise.
For the master!
Oh, plus 5 additional energy. Every enemy. Huh. If you can do like a... If I had a certain magic skill, I could have just... He's a boss. So... Huh.
A red sun rises!
King of the mountain.
Arundel!
My eyes see everything.
And after this, it should be game. Yep. Be able to travel for free.
The sound of horns and iron-shod feet clangor in the evening air. In the distance, you see torchlights flicker into life on the walls of what looks to be an old tower. Cursing your own carelessness, you dash into the thickets, orc horns blaring close behind. A fallen tree lying against mossy boulders must serve as a hiding place. You glimpse torchlit shapes of many enemies moving through the trees. By luck or fate, none come closer than 100 feet of you. After some time, the horns stop braying, and scattered groups of orcs return sullenly through the forest. Just as you begin to feel the danger has passed, you hear nearby rustling and the sound of voices. You recognize the grating speech of the enemy, and another voice. A whining, pitiful one you'd hope never to hear again. Smeagol must have followed you, and has been captured by orcs. Loathsome as the creature may be, something tells you not to stand idly by while Smeagol is dragged towards certain death.
We'll flag it! Double quick!
Mother. That sucked.
For the master.
Before your stroke fell.
I am a servant of the secret fire.
before your stroke fell.
Oh, my lad.
Before your stroke fell. A red sun rises!
As darkness thickens, orange light from orc fires bathe the dilapidated walls of the ruined tower. Your spirits sink as you witness the last prisoners, no longer wrapped in cocoons, marched into the stronghold. Orcs and goblins seem to be everywhere. How will you get to Bilbo? And if you do, how will you get away? You decide to chance entering the tower through a small door on the tower's eastern side. As you quietly approach, the door snaps open and a group of armed orcs emerge.
Hey guys.
The last of them brandishes a large key with which it proceeds to lock the door. As the door locks with a dull clunk, the orcs make to start their patrol.
Or something better.
After sneaking through the tower door, you emerge into a huge chamber full of reeking supplies, fallen stones, and intruding vegetation. A number of large chains emerge from openings in the floor along the walls. The chains terminate into an iron box bolted to the far side of the chamber. The box bristles with rusty hooks and mechanical wheels. You glide quietly through the room, keen to avoid attention. You peek into the connecting rooms, hoping for clues as to where the orcs are storing their prisoners. Steps are suddenly heard on the flagstones coming in your direction. After a few moments, a smallish orc enters the chamber to rummage through supplies. The light of its torch happens to catch one of your buckles, causing the orc to glance lazily in your direction. For a second, it seems not to have understood what it's seeing, but then recognition flares in its ugly face.
This way!
A red sun rises!
Smeagol has betrayed you. Somehow the villain has triggered the chamber's mechanism, causing one side of the floor to abruptly drop. Your legs slip violently as you flail down the steep angle, fingers desperately grasping for any hold. Amidst the cacophony of sliding rubble, supplies, and orc bodies, You catch sight of Smeagol dangling from one of the chains above.
Goodbye, says masters.
He shrieks.
Baggins and precious. For Smeagol, they are mine.
His shrill voice fades as you slide past the lip of the slanted floor and drop into a rancid darkness. You blink twice before meeting the wet ground with a mucky plop, debris raining down around you. Then a falling barrel lands directly on your head, and everything goes black.
Alright guys, I will kind of show you all the cards in the game, I guess. Currently, these are the heroes. Dane's really good in the dwarf deck. Each one has a hero reward. The more you use them, you can get cards unlocked for their abilities. We should have some of these soon. So, like I said before, blue strategy, red's more like damage, purple is leadership. They're more like a balanced, green's kind of like support, I guess, as you could say. So you can get actually 2 leadership doors, and then Gimli is a power dwarf for some pretty good abilities going. The number up the top left is like the threat meter. The higher the card's threat meter means the higher Sauron starts with his threat meter. So if you do 11, 11, and 11, it's going to start with 33 threat right off the bat. If you do, 8, 8, and then a 9, it's going to start a lot less threat to give you more time to do stuff. Those are the heroes so far in the game. These are all the cards. We'll start off with the no cost. Cancel damage from the next enemy attack. You need at least 2 support, or strategy, whatever you want to call it, the blue characters in the deck just to use that. 2 spirit heroes. Defeat 1 exhausted minion. You need at least 2 spirit heroes in the deck. Plus 1 attack and gain range. You need at least 2 tactics heroes. Gaining strength is a pretty decent card. So if you have a high cost, kind of help you out, but nothing really is high cost right now. I think Gandalf is the most expensive card, which is a 5 cost card in the game. So you need at least 3 spirit heroes, so it would be the 3 blue heroes just to use this one card. That's a good card. Card's kind of like taunt. Block like reduces damage. that's good. That's a, you know, decent weapon card. I mean, you get +1. You can throw it on anybody for no cost, so anybody can get one extra damage added to it. These are all the cards that cost 1. At -2 threat, so for 1 cost you can lower the threat by 2, which is good. Threat is increased by rounds, so it's 2 rounds you have lowered the threat meter to where he can't use his event abilities. Advanced warning's good, and I like to use that. Automatically makes it to where the next monster he plays can attack. I don't really use blue very much. Now, this card is pretty good. Downside is you need all 3 red heroes in the deck just to use this card. Gives you +4 health and gain block, which reduces damage by 1, and it doesn't stack. So the most reduced that you could take is 1 damage. So, but I mean, 4 health is pretty nice. You need at least 2 greens just to use this card. So you can't really have, like, you know, like, you have to have 3 just to use this and 2 just to use that. So you'd have to have 3 red, which means you wouldn't be able to use this card. I really like this card a lot, especially if you use dwarves. It's a must-have weapon for a dwarf deck. 2 additional for only having 1 tactics hero. So you can stack a dwarf deck pretty good, which I'm probably going to end up making a dwarf deck here in a little bit. So, power, you use his ability, you discard 1 card from your hand, gives you 1 extra resource and 2 to your, like, wisdom, I guess you can kind of call it. And you can only have one of these cards in your deck. That's what that little symbol next to his name means. Forest Snare's a pretty decent card. Feint's good too. If they have a high monster, if you know you're playing a campaign or somebody that has a lot of buffs, you can just immediately that round reduce his damage to 0. She's pretty good if you want to finish off an enemy or weaken an enemy before you attack them. Another threat reducer. One of the few units in the game with guard. This I got from completing a quest. Gotta have 3 lore heroes just to use her. But she's a power ability, so you can restore quite a bit of health. There's not too many, excuse me, Dunedain in the game currently, so it seems like dwarves is like really where it's at. I like to use this hand advantage, so I mean it's a good card. It's one of the few neutral cards in the game at the moment. It's kind of like a trap. That's what preparations do. They're like trap cards, I guess you can kind of say, when for them to trigger. So like the next attachment he would go and play, so when this card would trigger. Range, I think, is pretty good in the game as well. They can't be counterattacked when attacking guard units, and they can actually attack flyers. This would be good if, pretty much like, I do believe it's Aragon. This is like one of his best equips. I believe he's a Duodane. Yeah, he's like the only really Duodane, but he's good. Like, Aragon's really good when you use his power. You can kind of use him like as a tank, really, for his ability. You just set him to guard. I mean, he's a 2/2 with a high health. So they go to and they attack him. At most, they'll take 2 damage, and he'll take whatever in damage. Then you could spend 1 energy to make him pretty much act again, and then you can re-guard him up. So you can use him as like a constant tank, I guess, in the game. I do believe he's the only Duodane. Oh no, she is as well. So her is ready as well, or one of the few cards that those can get equipped to. So grant some health and star, which I'm just going to call wisdom, like I said. +1 Ranger's Blade. Oops. Play a random ally. Game block. Apply 2 progress, which is kind of nice. This is by far probably one of my favorites in the game so far. But you gotta have a lore hero. Is every round you pretty much automatically heal 1 health. You can't double stack, so you can only have 1 because it's a special. You can only have 1 armor, 1 weapon, and 1 special equipped. If you try to equip another special, it'll overwrite the previous one. It's like a trap, or not really a trap. Sorry, not a trap, but an equip. Pretty much, they take 1 damage every turn. You can only use it on a minion though. Gain stalwart. Which stalwart's kind of like if you attack somebody, they automatically get to go again. So it's a good ability. And this is definitely an amazing card. The downside is that you have to have 3 leadership heroes for you to use it for 1. So you can have, let's say if you have 6 of your units out that have attacked, you can pretty much cast this. Let's say even if you with Aragon with this card can attack 3 times in 1 turn. And no, you can't use the other one. So 3 times he can attack you know, for one. But you gotta have, like I said, 3 leadership heroes for you to use this card. It's the downside to it. So that's a really, really good card. This is like a stall. This can come in handy at times. If you have a elf that's about to die, you can recover him with this card, and summon a random elf ally. That card that goes back to your hand, you can then replay it. Good money maker. So this is a good card for 1 cost. I mean, he takes 2 damage right off the bat as soon as he comes into play, but he has counter, which is nice for 1 cost. It's a good card. Oh, excuse me. Wandering to that's good. When you play him, he gets Sauron gets -1 to his energy. I got this card for free from quests. It's one of the quest cards. Some of these were quest cards. Another preparation trap card. That's definitely a nice Rohan card. Will of Steel is nice. It's good. It's pretty much you play him for free. You play him, cost 1, and you can use his power if you need to gain another one. Alright, all the 2s. Now this card is also really good. You grant 1 wisdom and 2 health to every ally, but again you need 3 leadership heroes. So you'd have to have all 3 in your party for you to use this card. So you could spend 1 energy to draw 1 card if need be. This is another one of my favorite cards in the game. You can restore 1 health to every character, or restore 4 health to a hero. So you can equip this to a hobbit, and Sauron gains -1 energy for every upkeep. So you can play a lot less cards. This is good dwarf card 1, 2, and 4. So you can do a little bit of damage to enemies, events. This is also good in a leadership. You store health, and then you ready them as well. Again, another one of these cards that with Aragon is just nasty. You just heal him and then have him attack again, or tank another hit. I'll build a deck around Aragon. So, like these 3 heroes, I'll make show you like how powerful these 3 can really be. So you have dwarf, and Aragon. One health to 1 character also gains stealth this round. It's a little bit of a heal. That's a nice ability. It's a special, so every time your unit becomes exhausted, he automatically gains guard. It's almost tempting to get for a neutral card. It goes extremely well in a dwarf deck if you're using all tactics heroes, which actually you'd have to be using these three, so he doesn't get like a good bonus like he would with him, because he's a leader and he's a tactic, and for you to have this in your deck you have to have 3 tactics. So can't have a lot of super overpowered doors. Another threat reduction to one of the few guard abilities. Dang it. Objects, that's what they're called. You use the metal ability on objects to attack objects. Oops. He does a lot more damage to when they're not at full health. He does 3 damage. It's a good card against objects. Another heal. Another heal. I really like the greens. Another good dwarf against Sauron. Good card. 2/2/4 for 2 costs. It's not bad at all. This will be nice for the leadership. Grant +2 to 1 dwarf this round, +3 if he's wounded, and he gains surge. So high damage. Another heal. Ranged. Good automatic. Using if you have a high damage unit, you could use this to instantly kill somebody pretty much. This card is definitely nice if you have a tactics hero. Damage every enemy. Could literally wipe out a whole group of them if you get them low enough. Armor. So when objects are full, he's pretty much a 1/3/5. So this is, every time you apply progress this round, you do the same amount in damage to 1 enemy. So if you have a lot of progress, which is the metal ability on the cards, the metal ability, you're going to do the same amount of damage. So if you have a lot of high metal abilities, it's like free damage pretty much. But you got to have 3 spirit heroes for you to use that card. +1 health and game block. It's nice. I just got this for free from that quest. And flying and exhaust each. You get +1 damage, vanquish, grant +1 whenever vanquish is like pretty much whenever you kill an enemy. You get 1 energy each time. Another good dwarf, 216. Applies 1 progress whenever you summon her. Plus 1 attack for each health below maximum, no attachments. So he can become very, very, very powerful. But he's a class of his own, pretty much. You only have 1 of him. Like I said, which is that symbol next to his name. You can only have 1 of that card. Gain ambush and block. Revenge is whenever they die, so it's pretty much a kamikaze card. That's a good card if you have a lot of Noldors. Grant +1 to every character this round. Gain block to every Gondor this round. It's definitely nice. So you can have at most 4 attack. There's a limit to 3, so each time he defeats somebody, he gets +1 to his damage, which is nice. 3 costs to deal 2 damage to every orc. It's a good wipeout card if they have low health. More health and block, so like a tank shield, I guess. One of the few guard abilities. Only 1 of him, ranged, arrival, he exhausts 1 minion. He's okay for a 2-1-5. But you gotta have 2 lore heroes. Stalwart. It's an ally only, so you can't equip that to any heroes. It's a little on the high side, 3 costs for a 2-1-4, but you have a leadership hero. You're just running like a leadership deck that are limited on their range, especially like for dwarves. Dwarves don't have ability for ranged attacks, so flyers are like their weakness. Decent card with block. She takes less damage. It's a nice card as well. Decent card. Surge is always nice. Alright. There's only a few high cost cards in the game. Alright. This is definitely a good card. It's got block and guard. Oh, I'm almost tempted just to you only have 1 of it though in your deck. I don't know why you'd want to buy 2 when you can only have 1 at the moment. Block and guard, so he automatically guards every round. And he reduces damage and does 2 damage in retaliation. It's definitely a good card. Oops. Farmer Maggot. Good card. Tell all the heroes you can only have 1 of. Gandalf's a neutral card. You get him for free. E-Star. So he's one of the few. I think like actually only card in the game that you can equip that ring to, but the downside is that he's fleeting, so whenever you use him he automatically gets removed from the battlefield. But he's got good abilities. You can draw 3 cards, deal 3 damage, or remove 3 threat. Good preparation. Defeat the next minion after it attacks on a -1 to threat equal to its attack value. It's a good trap card. Counter and guard. Definitely a good card. Guard's always nice. Choose one hero in your discard pile, return it to play exhausted. So if you ever have a hero that dies, it's pretty much like a revival. And as you can see, these are the only 2 5 costs in the game. So these are the 2 highest cards. +1 attack, +2 health, and game block. Definitely an amazing card. Damage, health, and you can reduce damage for 4 costs. Definitely say at least run at least one of these if you decide to go with it for your tactic heroes. Spear wall, it's pretty decent. -2 to every enemy this round, so you can pretty much take like no damage. And he's a legend, Tom Bombadil. 3/3/4 for a 4. He's fleeting. Rival, you automatically defeat 1 minion. So, as you can see, he's expensive, but super powerful. Alright, that is literally all the cards that you can get in the game so far. There's a Sauron gallery where you can look at all the cards that you've gone up against Sauron that he's had. They're not really too important, but I'm gonna make a deck. But 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Changed. Alright, whatever. So I'm gonna make a new deck. I'll create the deck. I'm gonna call it Leadership.
If by life or death I can save you, I will.
Aragon.
The kingdom of all shall be renewed.
Dang.
Go on, at yourselves.
So I got all leadership heroes. So it automatically will just pop up any neutral or leadership cards that I can currently equip. Which I might not be able to really make one of these with that because I might not have enough unlocked cards. I'd have to probably buy some. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have enough. So I'm not going to really be able to make this just yet. I don't really want to buy anything until I've pretty much gone through the game and unlocked everything. So we're not going to make that deck just yet. You pretty much going to have to mix it up for one of each. So I mean, if I really wanted to, I could probably make a dwarf deck. It gives me 2 different types. We'll try that so you guys can kind of see how things are done. Oops. I'm going to call it dwarf. Oops. So now it's not gonna. There we go.
The kingdom of old shall be renewed. I shall claim full amends for every fall and stopped toe.
Doesn't really help us. Definitely want 2 of those. Dwarf. I'll have to throw Gandalf in there. Alright, there's not gonna be too much healing. Oh, I can actually do these. So honeycombs could be like a heal for me. Definitely 2 of those. Want at least 1 of those for. Oh no, we don't. We don't want 1 of those. Equip that. We did get 30. Oh, see, I want him, so. I don't want to use Gandalf too much. I don't want him though. Oops. We'll just go like this and see how it works. Alright guys, I'm going to take a little break. Whenever I decide to do the next campaign, I'll do another stream of the next quest, which it should be quest 4 of the next one. So you can't go on without it, says you must complete the previous one. So we have to do this one next, and we'll try to do the dwarf deck so you guys can kind of see how it's done. You can see the rewards. We'll get that as our card for our first completion. So, alright guys, I'm taking a break. I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Thanks for watching.